Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 4 Spoils of War was an absolutely epic cinematic event, and for me, one of the top 5 episodes of the series. In this Spoils of War breakdown, we will review the episode as well as go over some of the epic theories that I have on the symbolism we see in the Dragonglass cave scene with Jon and Daenerys, as well as Arya taking down Littlefinger and Cersei's plans with the Golden Company. Also, make sure you click on that subscribe button and the notification bell to become part of the Azor Hype community. It will notify you so you can stay up to date when I upload my daily Game of Thrones Season 7 videos. In the first scene of the episode, we see the spoils of war being transported from Highgarden, where Jaime gives Bronn a handsome reward for his troubles. I've always enjoyed the bromance between Bronn and Jaime, and we see that Bronn hasn't forgot about the promise that Jaime made him. The promise to give him a castle. It's important that we focus on this dialogue, because we hear the Lannisters say, a Lannister always pays his debts, and we know that Casterly Rock is barren. Now, this could suggest if they don't pay off their debts to the Iron Bank, that Daenerys and her 3 dragons may be the least of their problems. Next, we see the conversation between Cersei Lannister and Tycho Nestoris, and he points out Cersei's efficiency by comparing her to her father, Tywin Lannister. She has almost paid back the Iron Bank, which has never seen a debt of this magnitude since its inception. Now, one thing that stood out for me in this scene, it was the way that Tycho Nestoris announced that he is neither kind nor a lord, mirroring the sort of ego death we see within the ranks of the Faceless Men. I do suspect that if Cersei is not able to pay back the Iron Bank, that the handmaiden that saw Jaime and her in bed will have her face stolen, and perhaps this is how the Iron Bank eliminates Cersei, by getting Jaqen to reach out to Arya to strike a name off her list. However, we hear Cersei mention that the Golden Company has been contacted by Qyburn in hopes of reinforcing her army, and there is a very good reason why they specifically targeted this organization. The Golden Company was founded by Aegor Rivers. He is called Bittersteel, a legitimized bastard of King Aegon IV Targaryen after he fled Westeros with the younger sons of Daemon I Blackfyre at the end of the First Blackfyre Rebellion. When Aegor saw all the exiled lords and knights signing on with other sellsword companies such as the Ragged Standard and the Maiden's Men, and saw the support of House Blackfyre ebbing away, he created his own sellsword company in 212 AC. It makes sense for Cersei to seek out the Golden Company, given the history of the Blackfyres and the Targaryens. There was nothing but contempt between the two over royal succession. A brotherhood of exiles and the sons of exiles, united by a dream of Bittersteel. It's the home they want, as much as gold, Arya and Martell said to Aerys Oakheart. If they choose to fight for Cersei, they would get to come home and attempt to take out the last Targaryen. In the books, they are already in Westeros with Aegon Targaryen, who claims to be Rhaegar's son, but most of us believe that he is a Blackfyre pretender, so there is a book precedent for the Golden Company to return to Westeros. In the next scene, we see the extent of Bran's new power when Littlefinger is giving him a speech about how sometimes he wonders how the War of the Five Kings was orchestrated. We then get the chilling sentence from Bran, "Chaos is a ladder," after Littlefinger gives Bran with the dagger sent to kill him in Season 1, Episode 2. We should also remember that this dagger was seen in Sam's book in Episode 1 of Season 7, called The Legends of the Long Night. Bran mentioned in the last episode to Sansa how he is trying to connect all the pieces, how he sees everything. Bran mentioned her marriage night to Ramsay to build up Littlefinger's downfall. He could have proved his visions to Sansa a ton of other ways by bringing back this memory to the surface, as Littlefinger sold her to Ramsay. However, in this second instance, Bran says chaos is a ladder because he is working towards Littlefinger's downfall. It will be interesting to see how many more scenarios Bran has a big influence on. It certainly seems like he is putting his sisters Arya and Sansa in a position to take out Littlefinger by giving Arya the cat's paw dagger and reminding Sansa of her wedding night. We then see a tough moment for Meera as she comes to speak with Bran, and she is with someone that is completely different. Bran has been changed into a very different person. We see his personality turn into this monkish, transcendent, nothing really matters but the long night and defeating the Night King mentality. Unfortunately for Meera, she expects thankfulness and a proper goodbye, but this never happens. We even see when Meera calls him by his own true name, and he says, "I'm not really. I remember what it used to feel to be like Brandon Stark, but I see so much more now." This shows how much things have changed with the death of Summer, Hodor, and Jojen. I do sincerely hope though that Meera still has a place in the story, as she has killed a White Walker and provided a great service to House Stark. If she is returning to her family and to Greywater Watch, we very may well get the inclusion of her father, Howland Reed, who killed Arthur Dayne at the Tower of Joy, saving Bran's father, Ned Stark. And we all know he's the only other person other than Ned and the wet nurse at the Tower of Joy who knows about Jon's true parentage. Finally, we get the return of Arya Stark to Winterfell. I've been waiting for this moment ever since she left Winterfell in Season 1. Her interaction with the guards very much mirrors what happens at the gates of King's Landing in Season 1. And we hear the guards laugh in her face in disbelief that she is Arya Stark because Arya Stark is dead. I really enjoyed the moment where she is in the courtyard of Winterfell and she takes a breath air. It's few and far between the moments that these characters aren't running for their lives in danger or are in some sort of conflict. And of course, the guards are not doing their jobs properly as Arya takes off to the Crypts of Winterfell. It's a bittersweet moment again as Arya has changed, and these reunions, the House Stark reunions, are very different because they have been so affected by the events that have molded and changed their lives. But despite a quarrelsome relationship when they were younger, they do embrace one another. We do see Arya start to humanize some more and back off on her revengeful tendencies. Then of course she goes to see Bran at the Heart Tree in the Godswood. Being a faceless man, her accepting his magical abilities is somewhat more believable because she has seen types of magic at the House of Black and White. And then we get Bran gifting her with the Catspaw dagger. Does Bran already know the future and know she will use it to take down Littlefinger or the White Walker? I definitely think so. We get to see Arya in action with this dagger against Brienne of Tarth after she schools Podrick while she is training in the courtyard of Winterfell. Arya shows her lessons from Syrio are still very much a part of her fighting style. Brienne takes it easy at first, but Arya shows Brienne that she could very well kill her and that she's her equal in combat. I think because of Arya's size and stature, she is quick and able to execute moves someone Brienne's size may not be able to. This was one of my favorite scenes ever, and I can't wait to see if we get to see more of this badassery from Arya this season. One thing that we should be aware of though is that Littlefinger gives a curious smirk, and I believe he is plotting to put the Stark sisters against one another, as he can see Sansa is very well shook. Next, we see another epic scene that starts off with Missandei and Daenerys talking about how awesome Grey Worm is with his tongue. But the real fun starts when they enter the Dragonglass cave on Dragonstone. The music in this scene was amazing, and Ramin Djawadi does it again. The scene felt triumphant, brimming with positive tones and energy. We all see the Dragonglass, as Jon mentions, is all they could ever need. But then, we see the symbols. We see phies, we see sides, and we see concentric circles. A friend of the channel's and subscriber, Adam Richards, has this amazing paper on Academia EU, which you can find in the comment section of this video, which goes into detail about all of the symbols we see in the show, ranging from Dany's funeral pyre to the spiral formation we see near the Weirwood Tree where the Night King was made, as well as the spiral of the dead horses left back as a reminder from the Night King. However, this is the first time we've seen these concentric circles, and if we refer to Adam's paper, this symbol has a meaning of togetherness. This symbol is visually identical to the God's Eye. We see this with Jon at the Battle of the Bastards, and we see this with Dany when she is being uplifted as Misa in that scene as well. These scenes are concentric circle visualizations, as well as evidence to the God's Eye. When Jon shows her the First Men and the Children of the Forest, we see phi, which equals balance, and the concentric circles again. The White Walkers were created in order to balance out the Children of the Forest and the First Men in war, but it backfired. But Dany also hits Jon with the same quote Jon told Mance about bending the knee to Stannis in order for the Wildlings to survive in Season 4. Mance did not bend the knee and it backfired, but will Jon learn from his mistakes? I think that Jon will, and I will be doing a separate theory video talking about these symbols this week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on this epic theory. We then see Daenerys come out of the cave with Jon and meet with Tyrion, Missandei, Varys, and Davos. Tyrion informs Dany on the Casterly Rock situation, and Dany calls Tyrion out, then asks for Jon's advice. And Jon carries the same sentiment as Tyrion when it comes to releasing the dragons on the Red Keep and innocents dying. Dany listens, but she goes off to release the dragons on the army of the Lannisters. We also can't forget that Jon met Theon for the first time since Season 1, Episode 2, and we see Jon spares Theon because of what Theon did for Sansa in Season 5, Episode 10, in helping her escape from Ramsay's grasp. But this is the only reason he is not killing him, because of what he did to the Stark family. Kit Harington has really stepped up this game this season, as well as Alfie Allen. I really felt for Kit, but I also felt for Theon as well, which is a testament to Alfie Allen's acting. We then have a short meeting and we see Missandei answer questions about Daenerys, and this is obviously a plot setup for Jon to put his trust in Daenerys, as he learns Missandei was bought and freed, and if she wished to leave Dany, she would let her leave. It's important that Jon understands that Daenerys has done some good as well, as people followed her not just because of her name or strength, because of what she stands for. And then we have one of the best scenes of this series, period. The Field of Fire 2.0. We learn that some of the gold has made it back to King's Landing from Randyll Tarly, but shortly after their travel from Highgarden, we see the ambush of the Lannister forces. We have to remember what Robert Baratheon said, only a fool would meet the Dothraki in open field. This is a repeat of history, as this battle happened in the northern parts of the Reach, close to Bitterbridge. Dany takes Olenna's advice, be a dragon, enough of the clever plans. And we see what Bronn says come true, we are going to get slaughtered out here. We then see Daenerys get on the back of Drogon and absolutely decimate the formations that the Lannister forces have set up. Not only is their line getting broken by all the Dothraki on horseback, but they are getting decimated in the air with dragonfire from Drogon. We can see that Tyrion looks distraught by all the disaster because he still loves his brother and sees how terrible the destruction of fire is, and may start thinking of similarities between daughter and father, maybe setting up for anti-war sentiments. And we do see the destructive side of fire. Jaime does try to end the war in one single attempt of heroism. This is a callback to the moment where Robert Baratheon called Jaime a dumb highborn lad who thought he could end the rebellion with one slash of his sword. But Robert Baratheon's words that really resonate with me and are probably foreshadowing on how Cersei will lose this war is, what is the bigger number, 5 or 1? And we hear Cersei foolishly say 5, but Robert reinforces the notion that one army organized under one common goal would be victorious. This is not only foreshadowing for how Cersei will lose the war, but also for how Jon will unite the realm with Daenerys for the same goal against the common enemy, the Night King. Some of the other moments that stuck out to me were Bronn hitting Drogon with the Scorpion. I was really worried that Drogon would die, but he was barely hurt, and he is absolutely massive. And of course, Jaime falling into the water, leading us to believe that he will drown and die. But what did you think of the episode? Tell me your top 3 moments from the episode in the comment section. Let's create an epic discussion. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. I'll set a goal of 1,000 likes for this video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get updated when I upload my daily Game of Thrones Season 7 videos. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can help me and George get to DragonCon. We literally just found out about this opportunity last week, and we have the chance to represent Watchers on the Wall to do an absolutely epic vlog and interview some amazing actors and actresses. I do apologize for the short notice, but we just found out about this opportunity, so any donation would help offset the cost of my flight to Atlanta, getting hotel costs, and anything really would help out immensely. So you can find the link to the GoFundMe in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. 7 blessings.
Fuck the king.
How much for your little clam?